Yeah, no, I agree with that.
That's what I think. Speaking of that's what I think, we're gonna we're gonna move on to one of our favorite shows, a show that we are a cousin to. Bravo's Married to Medicine.
Yeah.
Girl. Married to
All them
Medicine is
gorgeous ladies.
American Medicine is celebrating their 10th season on Bravo and has been dominating the headlines on social media. The main polarizing topic has been new cast member Letitia Sweet Tea Lunsford's presence on the show, with people having so much to say about her comments regarding her having access to Greg's money, her having a tag on her dress in this most recent episode, and her overall look and aesthetic. On top of that, y'all know my girl, Dr. Heavenly, has been making rounds on the internet for her comments on her castmates and the show. I don't want to be the first person to start talking about this. So I'm gonna pass this over to Eeny Meeny Mighty Darius.
I'm gonna pass this over to.
Right.
Oh, well, we're not gonna do that today. Yeah, okay. It's been a hot mess. It's season 10. You know, they are coming in hot like this fire behind me. And I am enjoying every moment of this series. I really think that arguably Married to Medicine is the best show on Bravo, hands down. I have been saying this for seasons. I think that they kind of get eclipsed by the housewives of it all, but the Married to Medicine girls bring it each and every season. And what I've always thought was the very special thing about Married to Medicine is that you can tell that this is an actual friend circle. You can tell that they've been able to retain the core group of people on this show because they're friends in real life. And so one of my points of apprehension going into this season was that it was starting to feel a little contrived. I felt like, in my opinion, I felt like the addition of Phaedra, who is my all-time favorite housewife of any franchise at any point in time in history. Phaedra goes down as my favorite housewife ever. I felt like it was a little in to add her to the mix with Married to Medicine. I also felt like it was a little contrived to add Letitia Sweet Tea to the show because I felt like it was just a ploy to get Quad riled up. And I just don't feel like in real life we would ever be in a situation where my group of girlfriends welcomes in the wife of my ex-husband as a part of our friend circle. I just did not feel like that was an authentic way to tell a story for this Married to Medicine show. And I have to tell y'all, the people have gagged me. I've changed my opinion. I think that the addition of Phaedra to Married to Medicine was very much needed. She brings a level of comedic and intelligent relief around some very intelligent women. But the comedy that Phaedra brings simply by giving a look is one that is unmatched. And Letitia, I tried to figure out when they brought Shamari onto Real Housewives of Atlanta, it took me about 5 episodes before I could finally figure out what Shamari was doing there. Letitia is that for Married to Medicine right now. That's what I think. People really want to see Letitia, who's coming in like an ugly duckling. I think that the hope is that she'll evolve into this like beautiful swan I can tell that she has a beautiful spirit about herself. And she is she's in way over her head. She is in a way different league. She done met a man with money. So now we're about to see the making of a housewife. And that's what I love to see. I want to see the making of a housewife. I want to see what's going to happen with Letitia.
Sasha, you have any thoughts on the Married to Medicine girls?
So firstly, I want to say bring back Contessa. For sure.
Bring back Contessa!
I'm an advocate.
Contessa.
Doctor.
What'd you say?
I said that's Dr. Contessa.
You know, people don't play by their titles. Doctor.
Okay.
Doctor.
MRS MD or MD MRS, however Dr. Jackie
but yeah, no, I agree with what Derry said about. I think Married to Medicine is definitely the show on Bravo. I do think, you know, Housewives just reigning, you know, where it does, it kind of gets more, I guess, attention. But like, I didn't even realize the new season was starting. Like, I don't think the promo was great for it. Like, there was a number of things that just kind of fell through the cracks, in my opinion. Yeah, I think I really have enjoyed, the aunties going live and talking their shit. That's definitely been very enjoyable because it's just different when you see them do it at their big age. It's even funnier. I don't have time. But yeah, no, I think this season so far definitely has a lot of potential, and I'm excited for it.
All right. I'm gonna see how I'm gonna get through this. I do want to say this. So, of course, y'all know I had the pleasure of going to BravoCon with Dr. Headley to help her with some content, which we'll get into. And I had the pleasure of being around some of their bosses at the top level, I believe NBC. And I overheard one of them say that Letitia does have a beautiful Cinderella story. So, and of course, I don't know. I wasn't really around any of the women while they were filming this season. So I don't, as much as I used to know in past seasons, I don't really know too much about this season. And so I'm of course watching just like y'all. I will say, Sasha, to hit on your point about Married to Medicine and the rollout for this season, I was too disappointed about the rollout for season 10 of what is a historical show in the African American culture, which is centered around women who are doctors and who are married to doctors. I think that is very historical for our community. And while things like Baddies and Zeus and the children over there thumping and bumping each other, taking each other out, I feel like something that is positive and not as ratchet, I think most of us can agree, like Married to Medicine, should be celebrated and should be promoted. And I actually, this is on behind the scenes team, and I ain't gonna get in trouble for
Come
saying
on,
this.
BTS.
Yeah, this is behind the scenes team. This behind the scenes team. So I reached out. I'm not gonna say their name, but I know someone who works in marketing communications at Bravo. I've been knowing them for a good little minute now, for a couple years now. And I reached out to her and I said, hey, y'all are gearing up for Married to Medicine. Please consider me in terms of helping you guys roll out social media content. And I'm saying this because I have been inspired by what I had seen done with the Real Housewives of Atlanta for season 15, what we see done with other iterations of Housewives, such as Housewives of New York City. We see them pump money into the Real Housewives of Orange County. They had a whole freaking sound stage, or whatever they call it, with it looked like they were sitting on water, something that they use in big budget Marvel movies. I reached out to her and I was like, hey, guys, really consider me if y'all haven't found anyone to help, curate social media content. She said, okay, Oliver, I'm gonna pass your name off, which I do believe she did. She told me she did, and we'll see what happens. Of course, nothing came of it. And when I saw her at BravoCon, I had a very direct conversation with her. And I told that person, I was like, we're disappointed in how y'all are treating Married to Medicine. Married to Medicine, even though it's not a housewives show, it is bringing in housewives numbers in terms of the ratings. And the numbers don't lie. You can stack Housewives up to any other. you can stack Married to Medicine up next to any other show on Bravo, and those numbers can compete with the best of them in real time, even with the decline in live viewership on TV. And I told her, I said, this is a historical show for the Black community with Black professional women who are rich in real life.
Rich.
These aren't like some of our past and current housewife faves who, it's questionable or it's debatable or we don't know. No, the Married to Medicine girls, the pockets are deep. They roll heavy. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just, I told her, it's like, it was kind of disappointing to see the content that Bravo was putting out. Y'all got these girls sitting in front of green screens. I can see the shit pixelating.
Yes.
It's these simple 2D text. It's these simple things like just B-roll. I was like, it could have been a whole freaking thing. Not to toot my own horn, but I was able to create a whole 3D virtual world with Dr. Jackie, Dr. Simone, and Dr. Heavenly inside of a whole hospital. You know what I'm saying? And that was just off the strength of just trying to do something creative. And so I hope Bravo takes a closer look at Married to Medicine and they begin to treat them a little bit better. And I don't want to speak to what their intentions are because I don't sit in the board meetings. I don't know what the fuck they doing. They really could be doing all that they can. But it's like, girl, it's season 10. Why we don't got no new intro? Why we don't have no new intro?
That part. this little IG video of Phaedra, talking about the castmates and who all is gonna be, like giving her perspectives on. Like they could have done so much more, just with Phaedra alone making this transition from housewives sphere to Married to Medicine, and it looks like something they just did with their iPhone.
Yeah,
that's what it looked like.
And y'all know I love a nice iPhone. The majority of stuff I do with Heavenly that gets picked, gets traction on her pages on an iPhone. We know how to work an iPhone, but at least put some care and attention behind it.
It's just like, you mean like portrait. You're going like straight up and down, and then it's just like you can tell it was one take, just based off of the way that she, was answering the questions and the way that the answers came through. Like, where is the creativity? Where is the the boost? Because it's not giving. Bravo, NBC is not giving that. That's not what the rollout was giving at all.
Let's talk about Sweet Tea. So when I heard that Sweet Tea was joining, I instantly got excited. Not because of the drama that I was going to see, but I am a fan. I am a fan of real people being in reality TV. And I feel as though with reality TV in Atlanta becoming so popular, and there's so many women and men now who are on reality TV that live in Atlanta, there's been created like this Atlanta reality TV star archetype. You got to have the lace front, the waist got to be snatched, you got to have the nails, you got to be posed up on the Instagram, you got to be hanging out with the girls, you got to be with the girls. I really enjoy real people being on reality TV because it makes it believable, especially with the genre being so oversaturated. And so when I heard that Sweet Tea, somebody who had never been on reality TV, who wasn't, Insta famous, who wasn't necessarily married to an extremely famous guy, who was really just a everyday woman, I was like, oh my God, I'm so interested to see, how her dynamic and her perspective relates to what's already going on, right? And Sweet Tea is 31. Well, now 32. Which Sweet Tea could have went to high school with all of us, right? And so I'm like, oh my God, like it's somebody our age that's there, just like how last season the lawyer lady, Audra, excuse me, Audra is our age too. So I'm like, oh my God, we see someone who's our age amongst these older women, doing their thing that really excites me. I told Dr. Heavenly, I wish I was friends with Sweet Tea. Because I feel like Mama is, first of all, I can see the nerves on her face, like in both of these episodes, and it's actually painful to watch. Darius, when you agree, like I could see her like breaking down. And I think in this last episode, when they were at Toya's wine event, you can see her going through those emotions of where like she's feeling uncomfortable and whatnot. And I was talking to a friend today, and I was like, low key, the treatment Sweet Tea is getting now on season 10 is high key the treatment they gave Quad season 1, where the wives were looking down on her. She was the youngest, she was new. Anytime on reality TV, the pretty girls get around and in some type of way bully the ugly duckling, she becomes a swan. We saw it with Nene on Housewives of Atlanta. We saw it with Quad on Married to Medicine. Portia on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, right? We saw it with Candace on Potomac. Like
even Candy was kind of when Candy first came onto the scene, they were trying to like big up on Candy.
Mm-hmm. And
call her country bumpkin and all that stuff.
and I feel like Sweet Tea has been given like the perfect storm to like really rise above it. And I feel like she's letting it get to her. Like, girl, you had to know coming on this show they was gonna talk about Quad. Like, you had to know that.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes people sign up for stuff not realizing like how it may make them feel in that moment. Like, of course, I'm sure she definitely knew that, but everybody can't handle being at the bottom of the totem pole.
Do you not know how I would be eating all of that up? Like if that was me.
Ooh, like homegirl in freaking Salt Lake City. What's the girl name?
Yes.
She is eating the girls alive. Ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. And she, but the homegirl said that she coming through. She said, I am here, okay? And y'all will, I have an opinion. I'm going to express my opinion. I don't care who y'all are, who y'all think y'all are, what y'all have. I'm going to call you elitist to your face. I'm going to tell you that you sound foolish talking about this. Like you just, I love that kind of carrying on. I love that kind of carrying on. But I don't think that Sweet Tea knew what she was, like she knew what she was signing up for, but she didn't know what she was signing up for. And it's so evident. I think she deactivated her social media.
She did. She did.
Which I think is so sad because I know that the people are tearing her anew. And I think back to like Nene's interview with Carlos King when she talked about like how much she changed over time. It's based off of what people were saying about her. And so you talk about my eye. Yeah, I'm gonna go get my eye tweet. You talking about my, you know, my nose. Now I'm going to get my nose done. You talk about my hair. Now I'm gonna get my hair done in different ways.
Remember what you said last time? Darius talking about, and I be applying chapstick every 5 seconds.
Okay, I gotta make sure I got make sure my lip gloss, and then you do all those things, right? Because this is what people have been saying negatively about you. Then you do all those things, and then they say, "Damn, you changed." But I feel like that's what's going to happen to Sweet Tea is that I hope that it doesn't instill in her a level of insecurity, especially if she's this secure woman who has a good government job that she mentioned. You know, she's clearly she has some sense about herself. You know, she has sense enough to seek out support groups for
she gotta lean into her village. She gotta lean into her village for real.
You know what I mean? So I really hope that she's surrounded by people who know her and who can remind her who she is so that she doesn't get like swallowed up by this big thing that's so much bigger than how she might feel she is right now.
Yeah.
And just to talk more about Sweet Tea and like the online reaction, it's slightly disappointing me how people are attacking how she looks. Like it actually made me almost want to like cry for her. And I'm being actually really serious. I'm like, not all of us look like that. You know what I'm saying? Like not all of us want to be pinched up, zipped up, and not saying there's nothing wrong with that. But this is a young black woman, who's out in mass media trying to do her thing, telling her stories, sharing her life. Why are we talking about her like this? Like, why are we so the fuck what? She got a gut. Your mammy probably got a gut.
Right.
Your daddy probably got a gut. You probably got on.
Yeah. I was gonna say, even Toya got on Watch What Happens Live, and that was the first thing. Like, I didn't mean for it to come out that way. Like, even Toya felt bad for making comments about like a corset or a girdle when getting ready for a wedding day. Like, you just automatically think like brides do corsets, so it's gonna look different. It's gonna look cinched. But the type of attention that invites to someone's physique that might not be positive attention, I know that must be tough.
Now the season is already filmed, so whatever she done did is already locked and it's in there. But here's my advice, just based off what I've seen and what I've been able to do myself in my own little world, my own little 15 minutes of fame, child, of me being on reality TV, doing my little thing. Listen, in the face of adversity, in the face of conflict, in the face of foolishness, you do what Darius is doing right now. And I don't know if he was doing that on purpose, but you do what Darius is doing. Bitch, you put on your chapstick.
Okay.
And you look in the mirror and you say, bitch, we finna press. The moment you show something has gotten to you on reality TV, baby, you've lost. You've lost. You've lost.
They gonna eat your ass up.
You've lost because now they see they got a window to fuck with you and they gonna continue to fuck with you. They're gonna continue to fuck. Do you know if I get married to a man and I'm on a reality TV show and they bring his old person in there to my bachelor party, you know what I would do? Get a chair and sit the bitch right next to her and say, bitch, let's talk about our man.
Okay. Offer the girl a chicken wing.
Okay. I'll do like how they was doing in The Color Purple with Mr. and the Man. You had it your way and I had it mine.
But back to your point earlier, Oliver, didn't you say that like you don't let nobody air you out with like, your tea? I think it's one of those things like, let me just address the elephant. Y'all want to call me a gold? They was gonna call her a gold digger either way. either way, she done settled there, moved into quiet old house. And you know, you just content to be filming the show. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and address. I'm gonna address it head on. So let's all joke. Let's laugh. The 1, 2, 3. But the difference is she laughing to the bank for somebody else.
Now,
how much money Dr. G got over there? You think Dr. G got a few G's over there?
Yeah, I think he got a couple G's, you know.
Or you think the money go? Because Quiet left there when it got her little mansion.
You know, I don't know where the man money go because he ain't never told me about his business. Okay, he ain't never told me nothing. I don't even know Dr. G like that. To be quite honest, I just wish Sweet Tea would take ownership of what's going on.
Baby,
hey, standing on business.
Stand 10 toes down, baby. Toes in the stand. What?
Man.
All right, I think we done beat this Married to Medicine horse to death. Let's move on to the next thing before we get on up out of here. Y'all, I'm having fun doing this. This has been kind of amazing.
He's a psychiatrist, not a psychologist. He's a psychiatrist. Put some respect.
Yeah, he's a doctor.